Ever wondered how much trivia you actually know? Are you ready to test your knowledge with some rapid-fire questions? Welcome to the thrilling world of rapid-fire Q&As, a fun and challenging arena where your knowledge meets the ticking clock. Imagine a volley of questions thrown at you and you, armed with your wit, firing back the answers. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? It's not just about what you know, but how quickly you can recall it. Buckle up! Get ready as we dive into the 10th Q&A session. Starting off with our 10th Q&A, here are the questions. Question 1. Who was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean? Take a moment. The answer is Amelia Earhart. Moving on, question 2. What is the capital of Australia? A bit of a trick question. It's Canberra, not Sydney. Question 3. Who won the World Series in baseball in the year 2020? Pause for a second. It was the Los Angeles Dodgers. The 4th question. Who wrote the famous novel To Kill a Mockingbird? The correct answer is Harper Lee. And finally, question 5. What is the name of the tallest mountain in the world? And yes, it's Mount Everest. So how did you fare with these questions? Don't worry if you didn't get them all right. There's always room to learn more. Now, let's keep the momentum going, moving on to the 9th Q&A session. Digging deeper into our trivia treasure, here comes the 9th Q&A session. We're turning our attention to the fascinating world of science and technology. Ready to test your knowledge? Let's dive in. Question 1. What's the powerhouse of the cell? Tick-tock, time's up. The answer is the mitochondria. Moving on, question 2. Who's credited with developing the World Wide Web? Pause and ponder. The answer is Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Next, question 3. Can you name the first spacecraft to land humans on the moon? Time to reveal. It's Apollo 11. Question 4. Who discovered penicillin? Think fast. It's Sir Alexander Fleming. Last but not least, question 5. What does the C stand for in Einstein's famous equation, E=mc²? Your time starts now. And stop, the C stands for the speed of light. Well done, folks. You've navigated through another round of rapid-fire questions. Ready for more? We're moving to the 8th Q&A session. Brace yourselves for the 8th Q&A session. This time we're diving into the exhilarating world of sports trivia. Ready to test your knowledge? Let's kick it off. Question 1. Which country has won the most World Cups in football? A few seconds to ponder. Moving on to question 2. Who is the fastest man in the world? Think fast. Question 3. Can you name the only country to have played in every World Cup? And now question 4. Who holds the record for the most home runs in a single Major League Baseball season? Finally, question 5. Which tennis player has won the most Grand Slam titles? Pause for a moment, gather your thoughts. Now, let's reveal the answers. The answers are Brazil, Usain Bolt, Brazil again, Barry Bonds and Margaret Court. Scored well. Now, onto the 7th Q&A session. The 7th Q&A session is here. Are you ready? Let's embark on a journey of knowledge and discovery, starting with geography. Our planet is a fascinating place filled with wonders and curiosities, so let's dive in. Question 1. What's the largest ocean on Earth? Think about it, the waves, the endless expanse of water. Got your answer? It's the Pacific Ocean. Encompassing more than 60 million square miles, it's larger than all the Earth's land area combined. Moving on to question 2, which country boasts the most languages spoken within its borders? Quite a tough one, isn't it? The answer is Papua New Guinea, with over 800 languages. Talk about linguistic diversity. Question 3. Can you name the world's smallest country? If you're thinking of a place that's more city than country, you're on the right track. It's Vatican City, with an area of just about 110 acres. On to question 4. Which desert is the largest hot desert in the world? If you're feeling the heat, you're thinking correctly. It's the Sahara Desert. And finally, question 5. Which mountain has the highest peak above sea level? If you're feeling dizzy with the height, you've got it right. It's Mount Everest, standing tall at 29,029 feet. Well done! You've navigated through our geography round. Now let's turn the pages to the literature section. Are you ready to dive into the world of words? Question 1. Who wrote the epic poem Paradise Lost? If you're thinking of an English poet from the 17th century, you're correct. It's John Milton. Question 2. In which novel would you find the character Atticus Finch? This one is a classic. It's To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Question 3. What is the name of the hobbit who inherits the One Ring in The Lord of the Rings? The answer is Frodo Baggins. Question 4. Who wrote the dystopian novel 1984? If Orwellian thoughts are crossing your mind, you're spot on. It's George Orwell. And our final question, what play is the quote "to be or not to be" from? If you're thinking of a Shakespearean tragedy, you've got it. It's from Hamlet. Halfway through, the fifth Q&A session awaits. We're halfway there. Here comes the fifth Q&A session. This one is for the movie buffs out there. Ready? Let's jump right in. Question 1. Who directed the classic film Gone with the Wind? A legendary figure in Hollywood, this director also helmed classics like The Wizard of Oz. Question 2. What was the first ever feature-length animated film ever released? This film is still a beloved classic to this day, bringing joy to children and adults alike. Question 3. In which movie does Tom Hanks play a character stranded on a deserted island? This film made us all want to have a volleyball named Wilson as a friend. Question 4. Who won the Academy Award for Best Actor in 2020? This performer delivered an unforgettable performance, leaving a lasting impact on the industry. And finally, question 5. What is the highest grossing movie of all time? This film shattered box office records around the globe. Pause for a moment, think about your answers. Ready for the reveal? The director of Gone with the Wind was Victor Fleming. The first ever feature-length animated film was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Tom Hanks was stranded in Castaway. Joaquin Phoenix won the Best Actor award in 2020, and the highest grossing movie of all time is Avengers Endgame. Moving swiftly along, let's dive into our fourth Q&A session, this time on general knowledge. Question 1. What is the capital of Australia? Don't let Sydney or Melbourne fool you. Question 2. Who painted the Mona Lisa? This artist was not just a painter, but a true Renaissance man. Question 3. How many elements are there in the periodic table? Chemistry fans, this one's for you. Question 4. Who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird? This author's work has become a staple in literature. And lastly, question 5. What is the tallest mountain in the world? This peak is a true challenge for mountaineers. Got your answers ready? Here they are. The capital of Australia is Canberra. The Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. There are 118 elements in the periodic table. To Kill a Mockingbird was written by Harper Lee, and the tallest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. Almost at the end, the third Q&A session is up next. Entering the top 3, here's the third Q&A session. We're diving into the delicious world of food and drink. Let's see how much you know about this universally loved topic. Question 1. Which country is the original home of the spicy, savory delight known as the taco? Give it a thought. You got it. It's Mexico. Moving on to question 2. Can you name the fruit that has the highest amount of vitamin C? Pause for a moment. And the answer is the guava. Next up, question 3. What's the primary ingredient in hummus? Mull it over. It's chickpeas. On to question 4. Which alcoholic beverage is made from juniper berries? Take a second. It's gin. And finally, question 5. What is sushi traditionally wrapped in? Think it over. Yes, you're right. It's seaweed. That wraps up our third rapid-fire Q&A session. Ready for the top 2? The second Q&A session is coming up. Just 2 more to go. Here's the second Q&A session. We're tuning into the world of music trivia now. A symphony of questions that will test your knowledge and passion for melodies, rhythms, and lyrics. Ready? Let's hit the high notes. Question 1. Who is known as the King of Pop? Pause for a moment. It's Michael Jackson. Moving on to question 2. What's the name of the Beatles' last studio album? Let's take a beat. It's Let It Be. Question 3. Which female artist is recognized for her RESPECT? Hold that note, it's Aretha Franklin. Question 4. Who composed the unforgettable Four Seasons? A moment of silence, please. It's Antonio Vivaldi. And finally, question 5. Which band is behind the classic hit Bohemian Rhapsody? A moment to ponder. It's Queen. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the first Q&A session. Here we are at the first Q&A session. Get ready for 5 scintillating trivia questions about famous personalities. Here's the first one, then a pause for you to think, and finally, the reveal. And the cycle repeats. Question 2, pause, answer, and so on till we reach the 5th and final question. It's time to test your knowledge, put your thinking caps on, and that wraps up our top 10 rapid-fire Q&A sessions. How many did you get right?